Happy New Year and a lot of other false enthusiasm. Let's go, it's January, we can do this, we can get through the shit weather. Although actually, it's stopped raining now and it's gone really cold, which I kind of prefer, even though I can see my breath in the shed. But my barometer of coldness, the fluid in the parts washer, is not frozen yet. Yeah, no, that's still liquid. That is usually the start again. Happy New Year. How's it going? It's bloody cold here. We had a bit of snow yesterday, still a bit of ice around, but it's not that cold yet. Last year there was a little bit of time where my barometer, that is the parts washer, the fluid in that started going slushy and icy inside, so it's still got a little way to go, even though I can still see my breath. But anyway, how are you? I hope you're well. You're staying upright, staying dry. The trails around Stanmer locally are an absolute sludge fest at the moment, and we've had where the ash dieback is still prevalent. There's a lot of fallen trees up in the woods at the moment, and I was out this weekend and spent almost as much time lifting my bike over fallen trees or moving small fallen trees on the trails. So yeah, be careful when you're out, because you never know what chunks of timber are going to be in your way when you're screaming around a corner. Although you can't really scream around corners at the moment because it's so wet. I mean, I can't scream around corners. I'm sure you probably can, because I'm not the best mountain biker. But anyway, I'm trying, and that's the first mountain bike ride I've been on for ages, and it was really nice to be out, to see the woods. And even though it is a bit of a slog and sludgy and minging at this time of year, I do like it. There's a stillness, isn't there? There's a kind of emptiness of kind of a loneliness. It feels very solitary being out, which I do like. I really do like at this time of year. And yeah, in the past on cross bikes and stuff, being out in that on the downs, it's just you and the elements. Yeah, it's good. I like it. So it's been a while, as usual. Had a couple of tech updates. I've finally got a microphone, so hopefully the sound quality should be a bit better. I'm filming still off my camera phone, and yeah, the quality should be better because I've tweaked a few things on that. And then also I found a button on my editing software that I'm using on my phone, which has hopefully taken it out of that square, rectangular, tiny boxy thing that I've had on a couple of videos recently. So yeah, the viewing experience should be better. So just thought I'd do a quick one. I've been out on the cargo bike quite a bit, and yeah, I wanted to show you the tools that I'm carrying. I showed you the Milwaukee pack out system that I store everything in, but I'm really talked about what tools I'm carrying. So I'm going to rattle through that because I've tried to film it a couple of times and it's quite long, because I mean, yeah, I'm doing it right now, aren't I? I'm rambling. So I've got my tool roll here, which is my main load of tools that I carry with me, and this will fit most things. And then I've got loads of other bits and pieces in the box that we'll come to on another video, because this is going to take a fair bit of time. And there's a lovely amount of mould and mildew stacking up on this because everything's just sat in the box. So yeah, I'll open this up, we'll have a look at what's inside. And I mean, here I've almost got a workshop's worth of tools. There's a lot in here, so it could be some inspiration for you if you're missing things for your home kit. That yeah, we'll do most things. I mean, the only things that aren't in here are power tools and kind of big specialist tools and presses and things like that. So yeah, stop waffling, get into this, and yeah, we'll have a natter. Okay. So this tool roll is 5 years old. I got it in 2019, and it was when I first started doing my mobile stuff. As I said before, I've done it for a couple of seasons over the years, and this is probably the only bit of kit that has survived all of the different iterations and different plans and ideas and ways I've been working. I really didn't expect it to. When I was looking at tool rolls, there was a few kind of fancy ones that are kind of loosely branded. There's a Carhartt one that I saw, and a few different leather ones and suede and things like that. But capacity is a big thing, and this is big enough to hold a lot of tools. So it's almost 400mm wide, and then unrolled, it's got a decent size to it, as you can see. So unrolled, it's 570mm, and most of the tool rolls that I was looking at were a lot smaller than this, for kind of screwdrivers and a set of spanners or chisels. But this, it's got loads of capacity, loads of pockets, and the nice thing about tool rolls is they don't take as much space as a box, and you don't get so much noise, so it's nice and compact. Once it's all cinched up, it doesn't really rattle around, and you can just kind of pick it up and carry it. And it does, even though this has got a bit mouldy while I've been off over Christmas, it keeps everything dry, it keeps it off the ground. So, and I tend to be working on the ground a lot with my tools, so this stops everything just getting scratched and damaged and broken. And this selection of stuff here is going to cover a good like 60-70% of the jobs that I'm doing while I'm out and about. Gear cable changes, brake cable changes, pad changes, headset tweaks, component fitting, all of that sort of stuff, cassette fits, chain fits, and it all just rolls away. And this is the one that I grab the most when I step through the door. When I get into a garage, this is the bag that I'm going to reach for when I'm just figuring what you need on your bike. So I just start at one end and we'll work across. And like I said, this hopefully won't take too long, because every time I've shot it, it really has, because I end up just digressing. So, and with bikes, as we know, there are a lot of different specifics and tools that will only do one job. So starting at this end, got a couple of bottom bracket wrenches. That's a Wheels Manufacturing one. Got a Unior one there. And then that is a Park threaded headset spanner. Only really on like older bikes, vintage bikes with quill stems, and a lot of the Ridgebacks and some Dutch bikes use them. So for me, going out and about, if I haven't got the headset spanner, that's going to cause a lot of issues and is a bit embarrassing not to be able to just tweak someone's headset if they need it. I've got an Abbey Crombie Thai cassette tool, and that's Campag on one side and Shimano on the other, Campy Shimano. And yeah, I mean this has been super solid. It's not much to it, but yeah, this has been here since day one with my mechanicking stuff, my mobile stuff. Little Park hammer. This is nice and space saving. You've got metal on one side and then a soft face plastic on the other, so you can belt things. And I mean, yeah, you can carry bigger hammers, but this is very space efficient. Chain whip. Can't use a cassette tool without a chain whip, and this one's from BSC. I'm going to talk to you, if I haven't already, about BSC in a bit of detail, because they're a fantastic company. Just started getting some of their stuff recently, and oh man, just those guys are doing it right. And there is a little rotor tuning jobby there as well. It's got Unior. This is a really nice like 2-for-1 tool, and I think that's probably what they call it, like dual or something. 2-for-1, yeah, there you go. And this has got piston press on it, so you can press pistons back into position, and also it's a rotor steering tool. So instead of carrying the two like I did before from Park, you've got the handle and the rotor steering tool, that's nice and space efficient. It's only as big as it needs to be. File, that's self-explanatory. Smoothing things out, if you cut bars down, if you cut fork steerer down. Scissors, part tool. Got, again, part tool pin spanner. We talked about that in an earlier video. Bertelsmann chain tool. And aesthetically, this doesn't fit too well with me. It's a bit kind of Rolls-Royce Range Rover-y, like, yeah, it's a bit too polished, a bit too smooth, but it'll do 8, 9, 10, 11 speeds, 12 at a push, but it's also got the Campag peening tool. So yes, a lot of the Campag chains you need the peening tool to press the pin all the way through, the joining pin. So this has saved a lot of money because the Campag chain tool with peening bit on it is so much money. And yeah, this has worked so well. And this one is, I've got two. This one is my original one, which I've had almost the whole time out of my shop. So this is coming up to, well, over 10 years old probably. Very neat little wire 3/8 ratchet. I carry an extension as well, a breaker bar that's got a bit more leverage to it, but this is fantastic. It's got a little spinner on it so you can spin bolts up and fasten things up properly, and then it's got a couple of different planes of movement so you can have it at right angles like that, and then you can also have it as a screwdriver, and that locks into place, and then you can release the tool, the bit that you've got on it, the little button, and then it changes direction there. And that's been great, really happy with that. Knipex plier wrench, don't leave home without them. This is the bigger one, got a little one for the workshop, but this acts as an adjustable and grips. So yeah, I carry a couple of smaller wrenches, I'll get to those with me, but for the most part this works so well, and as I've said to you before, works better than an adjustable because you can hold it tight and it doesn't slip. Verniers, measuring stuff, bearings, rotor thicknesses for wear, headsets, always handy. I've got a pocket of pliers. I've got some Knipex cable cutters, cable shears. Got some random, there's a Draper combination pliers. These are new, quite excited about these. Telephone pliers, needle nose pliers from Knipex. I've bent my old pliers. Got my old cutters, side cuts, and actually they've gone walkabout, but I've got a new pair of Knipexes that I've put in my box to replace these, because again these are starting to go blunt. I didn't intend these to be used with bikes, they just were in my house, and yeah, they've come to the end of their life, but they've been great. I've been really happy with them, so I'm going to leave those out, so I'll put those back. Got chain link pliers, those are Park ones, yeah, Park tool, nothing much to say about those. And then these are brilliant. These are from Unior, and they're pliers for removing rounded bolts. So instead of having your combination pliers and grabbing onto the head of the bolt and undoing it, these ones work from the top, and they'll grab the bolt, and you can see there's a groove cut through there, so they grip upright, so you can spin the bolt out. And I've used these today, taking a bolt out of a replaceable rim brake road caliper brake shoe, and before I would have had to cut a slot in the bolt and remove that with a flat blade screwdriver, or if you'd used combination pliers on it or grips, you're going to scratch up the brake shoe, whereas with these, just came out straight away. Yeah, if you're a mechanic, If you haven't come across these, get yourself some. They're going to save you so much time and so much sweat and swearing and frustration. They've also got a slight curve to them as well, so they're not dead flush, so you can get in to undo things. A tool you didn't think you needed, but you definitely should get and do need, because it's going to make everything better. We're a chisel drive screwdriver, just a flat blade one, which you can use as a pry bar, as a chisel, and as a flat blade. T10 Torx key for SRAM bleed screws on reverbs, on the various SRAM brakes, Avid brakes, whoever. And instead of having an Allen key for it, the screwdriver is nice and easy to use, feels familiar, and it means that you don't over torque things when you tighten them up, which you can do with an L-shaped key. That's a Cyclus one. I've got a few picks. That one's a snap-on one. I've got another couple screwed away. And then individual keys, mainly in the smaller sizes. I've got another tool roll that I use that's got bigger sizes, 6, 8, 10 mil sockets, but then these are all individual. And yeah, there's some Park ones there. What I got? 4, 5, 3, 2.5, and then some Uniors. I've got T25, 2.5, 2. Oh, I can get rid of that 2.5 as well, because that one's pretty bent. Save a bit of space, and that's a 6 as well there. How are we doing for time? This sort of segment, 12 minutes. This is better. And then this one is all spanners in this little pocket here. Cone wrenches. Again, mainly Unior ones, because my Park ones live in the shed. I haven't got any spares, so these are all quite new. I've got two 17s, a 13 and a 15, so that'll do Shimano hubs, and it will do some of the Hunt end caps on their wheels, on their hubs, and some other bits and pieces. Got a 10mm spanner. 10mm spanner is always useful, and a 15mm wrench. That's a Wera one, and that one is a Draper, and this one is a narrow one actually. This one is slightly thinner than the usual 15mm, and the reasoning for that is that it works as a pedal spanner. And this is from, I've been telling you about this before, where are going to get into bikes, and they're starting to do it. So that's got a little bike on it, so you know it's for bikes. I mean, I don't know if you didn't use it for bikes it would explode, but yeah, it's got a bike on it, so you remember. Internal cable routing kit, magnet, a few different wires in there for gear cables and DIT. If you haven't, again, got one of these and you're replacing cables on a modern bike, you're going to be pretty shafted, so yeah, get one of those. I've got a Park one, but this one was on a deal through Air Velo, and I just thought, well, let's give it a go and see what it's like. It was a fraction of the price of the Park one, and actually I think it was in stock, which the Park one wasn't. Hydraulic brakes. This nifty little tool from Shimano is a hose cutter. It works on SRAM as well. Nothing goes wrong. And then this pushes the insert for the hose, the brass insert. Clamp your hose in there, push your insert into the top, tighten up this which holds the hose in place, then you pull down on that lever and that pushes the insert into place, which again just takes all of the faff out of it, and it's really neat. Like, that holds that there, and then when you tighten this, when you slide this together, that locks it all together. So it's all self-contained. Nothing else in there, I don't think. Folding utility knife. This one's a Milwaukee Fastback, and I really hate knives that have got a rattle to them. This old Ox one that I've got up here, which I like for hand feel, but it's all rattly. It rattles, and the button on it is really vague. Yeah, it's not brilliant. This one from Milwaukee is fantastic. Super solid. I reckon that's probably Ali. Nice little belt clip on there. There's a little stash pouch for another blade. A couple of spare blades. And when it's locked, you can still use that section to open bands on bike boxes and cardboard boxes. Wire stripper. And then there's a wire stripper in there, and a nice little groove for your finger so you can get some leverage on it. Unfortunately, I had one of these that locks at halfway like that, and I feel like I lost it, but it's possibly been stolen. I misplaced it somewhere, so this one loses that feature, and I really did like that because it just made it kind of a bit more ergonomic. But yeah, I mean, this is still fantastic. These are still great, and has replaced my Stanley. I had a Stanley retractable one, and yeah, like I said, that Ox one, that I mean, I think I got it free, but yeah, this hands down better upgrade. They're not massively expensive. Treat yourself to one of these. And then in this last little pocket, we've got, come on, tape measure, little cyclist one, 3 metre one, for bike fitting and saddle heights and positions and stuff like that. Handlebar widths, just measuring in general. Got Park dummy pedal tool, so this just goes into the crank arm where the pedal holder is. If you haven't got pedals to fit to the bike, so it just means you can turn the cranks, run through the gears, get that set up without getting your finger stuck in the hole, the pedal thread hole, or trying to spin it with your hands, getting it up to speed, getting your fingers caught in the chain. Not ideal. So I think these are people can argue the value of these, and they do make a lot of sense. I think a few years back when they came out, we all kind of scoffed, but it's one of those things where you're like, that makes a lot of sense. So, and for bike builds, or if you've got, if I've got a customer who's got a couple of different bikes and they're switching pedals between, so they've got power meter pedals, and not all of their bikes have got pedals on at that time. That's super handy. And yeah, bike out of the box, they don't always come with pedals. And then last but by no means least, Zion Power Lever XL. Really, really good tie levers. I would possibly argue that they're better than the Pedros ones, which are the benchmark in not shit tie levers. Absolutely love these, and I've actually only got one that I carry with me because it's so solid. It doesn't need anything else. Get yourself a couple of these. I think they only come as a pair. That's the other one there. They slot together, and you can see these have stood the test of time. I think that's been used as some sort of press for something, or a little drift. And yeah, they're just super solid, and they're all plastic. They haven't got a metal core to them, so they're not going to wreck your rims, but they're super rigid. And for tubeless tyres, tubeless road tyres, yeah, they work really well. So that's that. That's the tool roll. Let's close that up and have a last little chat with you. and promise things that I'm not going to deliver, and we'll go our separate ways. I need to get dinner on and warm. My hands are cold now from moving all these tools around. I should put some gloves on. But that's it. I'll put some links up in the YouTube description so you can have a look at these bits in a bit more detail. As usual, if you want anything, give me a shout. There you go, see? So there's barely, I know that tape measure's going to fall out. There's not much to that. Nice and solid, nice and secure. And again, if you're not working in a place all the time permanently, this can sit in the cupboard under the stairs, in the back of the car, anywhere where you can just grab it, put it back. You're not going to lose anything. It's all just kept together. So there we go. I think the weather's probably helped the pace of this video, because I'm really cold now, even though I was just saying it's not that cold. So you've seen the tool roll. The tool roll is the backbone, I guess, of my setup. It's, like I said, the thing that I grab first and most often when I'm out, and that's come through honing it in over a number of years, and makes me very well equipped to deal with a lot of problems. Like, yeah, probably about 70% of the problems that I have when I'm out for customers is solved in that black bag. So yeah, it's a good starting point if you're wanting to get a comprehensive kit together to sort things on your bike. And most of the things in there you will use more than once, like in the lifetime of your bike. In the box, which is what we'll come to next, there are things that you probably might not necessarily need every day, but yeah, they're still interesting to look at, and I feel like I'm as well equipped on the road, and if not more so than some shops I've worked in and some shops that are around. So yeah, it's all about having the right tools to do the job and doing it properly and doing it safely and doing it without damaging the customer's property, which is what these tools allow me to do. So yeah, next time we'll have a look at the box. Hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. I'll try and get this cut tonight and uploaded. I'll do all of the descriptions and things. If you want to buy anything from me, as I've already said, let me know, or go through Amazon. We can do it through that. I've also got access to Union Tools now, so if there's anything there that takes your fancy, give me a shout. I can post it out to you. I can come and deliver it to you if you're in my neck of the woods. We can have a chat about the cargo bike. You can have a look at that, and maybe I can do some fixes for you. Yeah, you know where I am. Give us a shout. Look after yourselves. Stay warm. Go and ride your bike, but not too much because it's really cold. See you next time.